Hey everybody, happy Tuesday and happy New Year. We are back. I am Jeannie Andreessen. If you're new to me, I'm a business coach to interior designers and I am committed to going live pretty much every Tuesday at noon. So thanks for being here. Happy to kick off the new year with you. I haven't done this in a bit. um, I feel like in December I was closing the launch of Client Success Academy. And after that, I was solely focused on onboarding my new clients from Client Success Academy. And then we rolled right into the holidays, and now we're here. Now we're here. And so I haven't done this in probably about a month or so, and I am excited to get right back into the swing of things. So today we are talking about struggles, lessons learned, wins, and more from 2024 because 2024 was not my best year of business. It was not my best year of business. Let's just leave it at that. Just kidding, because we're going to be talking about it today. But I wanted to go live on this because I just think not enough business owners talk about these things. I think we're all, behind the scenes running our businesses. We are dealing with just things that life is handing to us, some tough things that life is handing to us. Maybe we're struggling with, different parts of our business that we just never thought we would. And yet what we show to people is that everything is just peachy. And so I hope that from today's live, you're just, I don't know, I just hope this is helpful for you in some way. I know that when I've seen other business owners do this, it's been really helpful for me. And I want to be that guide to you. I want to be that person to you. I want to be that human to you because I am a person and not everything goes peachy for me either. So yeah, let's dig in. Hold on, the mailman is probably here. Do you hear a rebel barking? Okay. So let's kick it off with what was hard. Let's kick it off there. What was hard? I will tell you, rolling into 2024, the immediate struggle I was faced with was having so much time, free time, on my calendar. The reason why, for bad reasons, for sad reasons, the reason why that is when I say 2024 was not a great year, 2023 was a worse year. 2023 was definitely the hardest year of my entire life. My mom was very sick, had terminal cancer. I was planning a wedding. There was just a lot going on. My mom passed away. After she passed, we still had a wedding to plan. Rebel tore his ACL. And we had to get him fixed up, and then we're on lockdown to make sure that he didn't injure himself for weeks prior to leaving for Greece for our wedding. Then we were in Greece for a month of September, and then I came back and was feeling all the grief that I didn't really allow myself to feel because I had so much going on in my life. So all of that to say, going into 2024, I had a lot of time on my calendar because 2023, all that extra time was spent next to my mom's side for the first half of it. And 2022 was the same way. My mom was pretty sick in 2022 as well. And yeah, I don't know. That was really hard because I looked at my calendar and I saw all the time. Like I had, private clients I still had on my calendar. But before then, I didn't have that much time. I just was like running from one place to the other and I was surviving. And to have that time meant my mom was no longer here. That's what that meant. And that was really, really hard to face. And I struggled with it at literally January 1 of this year. I struggled with that. So that was hard. Let's keep it going. Another thing that was really hard, Rebel, our dog, fell very sick in February. And he was sick for 6 solid months. When I say sick, I mean he every couple days would just stop eating. So the whole day my husband and I were just anxious about why isn't he eating? And then the next day he would start vomiting, and he would vomit all day for multiple days, and then would eat again, and then that cycle would repeat itself for 6 months. Most of those nights we were not sleeping. Most of those nights, every other night of 2024, between February and August, we were up holding, like, Rebel sleeps in our bed. So we were up because we heard him about to throw up. We were throwing him off of our bed, getting him onto the hardwood floor, having him vomit, cleaning it up. It was so hard. We went to 3 different vets to try to figure out what was going on with him. We ended at Vet Specialty Center up in Bannockburn, which is now near where we lived. At the time it wasn't. We were in the city at that time. We went to 3 different vets. It cost us about $10,000. We ran every test possible. We put him on 5 or 6 different foods, it felt like, all to figure out what was going on with him. And you can imagine during that time how hard it was to run a business while caring for somebody so sick. Again, like, I was just coming off of my mom being so sick, so it was also triggering for that reason too. Anyways, in August of this year, we finally got a diagnosis that he has inflammatory bowel disease. We have him on a food regimen that keeps it and medicine that keeps it under control. And he really hasn't had any flare-ups since. It's been like totally wild. But that was extremely hard this year. And there were times where I would be, on a coaching session with my clients, and 5 feet away from me, Rebel would be vomiting off the couch onto the rug. And I couldn't do anything about it. Like, maybe once of those, I was like, I need to, let's hop back on. But I just was like, it was very, very hard. Or he'd be underneath my desk, just like crying. It was just so hard. So anyways, that was really hard, and that made running a business really challenging. So first one was just having so much time due to my mom no longer being in this world, and so much of my time from the years before were going to taking care of her. And then Rebel felt really sick from February to August. Third thing that was hard this year, our condo was not selling. We put our condo on the market in May of this year, and we were excited to move to the suburbs, which we did eventually. But when I bought that condo, it was in 2019 when it was a seller's market. The day I saw it, it was the only thing on the market, I swear, that was in my price range and beautiful, had an amazing view. When I saw it, I knew it was the one. I paid asking price for it. Fast forward to 2020, when the entire world changed and less people were living in the city, and the city became a little bit more dangerous and less desirable. And we were selling in a buyer's market, and I did not realize that. That's a major lesson learned, to follow, pay attention to the markets. I don't know. I was naive, but we thought that this condo was going to sell immediately, and it didn't. We had found our next place before we even put it on the market. We had signed for our next place. And so we were faced with, what do we do? Do we move? Do we stay? And we ultimately made the decision to move anyway, because we knew it was what was best for us. We did have our condo staged, so it wasn't totally empty. We had our condo staged, but it took way longer to sell than we anticipated. And financially, that was tough. I mean, we worked through the scenarios of, again, what do we do? Do we let the house go that we just, knew was perfect for us, and stay here? Or do we make this move and just hope that it sells at some point, and know that it will? And so we decided that second one, and which meant we weren't going to go on vacations, we weren't going to do anything like that, because we would be so strapped financially to do that. But we knew that this is what was best for us, and I'm really glad that we did it, because we really did find the right place for us. I've shared that I'm going to be putting this in a blog post too, because again, I just think these things are important, and they're important to reference, to just see that this is what it's like to run a business. This is what life throws at you. And so I'm going to share a little bit more on our decision to make that move in this blog post that'll go live tomorrow or Thursday. But we did decide to move. and it was the right decision for us. And our condo did eventually sell. It finally sold in December, early December of this year. And it was a big weight, removed when it did finally sell. But it sold for significantly less money than I bought it for. And that was hard too. So I want to I don't know, when I launch a podcast, I really want to have a episode on losing money, because I think it's something that's really, really hard for us as people, right? Like, it's hard to lose money, and it's hard to lose a lot of money, like tens of thousands. I can't even imagine what it'd be like to lose beyond that. But I lost tens of thousands of dollars in this condo sale, and I had to let that go. That was something you can imagine. This is something else that I was, dealing with behind the scenes. But I just had to let it go. And I want to talk more about that and how I got comfortable with that. And a few other, things. We're going to talk more about more money that was either lost, spent. Again, I spent $10K probably on trying to figure out what was going on with Rebel. So anyways, so the condo not selling and then finally selling for way less money, definitely a challenge. Another major challenge was just not having my mom in this world. First full calendar year without her. It was hard. It was hard. Last but not least, something else that was hard that I have not talked about is my coaching program, Business School for Designers, was not flying off the shelves. When I would launch it, I'd get a couple people that would apply here and there, but it was not flying off the shelves. And I created this program from my one-on-one clients and really the coaching that I worked them through, that we walked through together, that made a huge transformation in their business. That's how I created this program. And the first few clients that were a part of it, it was absolutely, it was life-changing, and they all said that too. But there was something that was going on that was no longer meeting my clients where they wanted to be, and I couldn't really figure out why. I ended up hiring a business coach, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute, but it was hard to have put so much time and energy into this program that I knew was, so beneficial to so many designers. And at the same time, people weren't buying it, and I didn't know what to do. So those were the major pieces that were really, really hard in 2024. Let's talk about some wins. I want to share some wins as well. Moving was a major win for us. We love Highland Park. We live in Highland Park, Illinois, north suburbs, and we absolutely love it. That was a win. I'm a mile from my best friend. That's the closest we've ever lived together. We both grew up in Glenview, but she was probably a mile and a half at that time. And then definitely the closest, we have been since then. We go to college and so on. And so it has been wonderful. I was ASID's keynote speaker this year for their business boot camp. That was such an honor and so fun. I absolutely love public speaking. And so if there are any opportunities that you are aware of where there are design events this year or showrooms that I should be talking to, that I should get on their radar for events, please let me know, because I absolutely love public speaking. And the topic that I spoke about was achieving balance in your design business. And it was great. I got rave reviews and it was awesome. And I just love public speaking. So that was really cool. Let's talk about hiring a business coach. That was a major win. So about midway through the year, I realized that I was looking for some guidance. I wanted somebody to look at my programs, look at my offerings, and give me clear feedback. And I was really searching for this for a few months. And I just felt like everything I was coming across was not the one. When there's a bunch of group programs and you're like, oh, not, I need somebody specific to me. I need someone looking at my business. I need someone talking to me. That's what I was looking for. And I was willing to pay for it too, from the right person. So at that same time, keep in mind, this was also when we had 2 mortgages. This was also when we were paying crazy money to figure out what was going on with our dog. But a business coach who I had been following for years. I had taken a couple of her group programs. They were great. But more than anything, I would see how she ran her business, and I wanted to run my business that way too. She is somebody whose business I have admired for years. She announced she was taking on one-on-one clients. She hadn't taken one-on-one clients on since I started following her in 2021. And she announced she was taking on one-on-one clients and put out there that she only was taking on 3 of them at that time, and to apply or raise your hand if you're at all interested. I couldn't not raise my hand. This was exactly what I was looking for, and as long as it didn't involve, like, I don't know, I was gonna do whatever I can. Like, I was gonna do whatever I can to work with her and not let this opportunity go by. And that's exactly what I did. So I hired her, and it was the most money I have spent in my business thus far, but it was an investment. And you know what? I want to talk about that for a second, because I had one of my private clients. I had a private client apply to work with me, and she was saying to me that this would be the most money I've ever spent in my business thus far. And I said back to her, yes, but this is an investment. When you're spending money on coaching, it's to get money back. It's not money that's gone. And I really looked at it that way too, is that, yes, I'm spending this money, but I'm investing this money, and what I'm going to get back, I'm going to make more money from it. And I believed that, and I knew that, and that has been the case. So hiring her was awesome. She took a look at my programs, and if you're wondering where Client Success Academy came from, it came from showing her my materials for VIP Day and her knowing that this is the program that my audience needs more than anything right now. And that's really where it was born, is right then and there. And I was ecstatic, because she asked me what was the most fun and easy way for me to make money. And the answer was private coaching and VIP days. The answer was not business school for designers. It was private coaching and VIP days. And my VIP day material is my Client Success Academy material. And to have looked at that and to have found that and realized, like, wait a second, this is it. It was so exciting and so comforting for me. And I don't even know how long it would have taken me to get there without her eyes on my program. So for the time being, I haven't really talked about this, but for the time being, I am not relaunching Business School for Designers. There are a handful of things in Business School for Designers that, oh my gosh, are so valuable, and I know you need them. And I am either going to be hosting mini workshops to teach a couple of those things, and that's how I'm going to give it to you, or just give even more to my private coaching clients and walk them through it all in private coaching. So because I've been developing Client Success Academy, I haven't had a ton of time to work on that, but it's on my list, honestly, in the next couple of weeks. Okay, another win, Client Success Academy. I am so excited about this program. Makes me so happy. It makes my clients so happy. Every single designer that is in this program and will take this program will benefit from it immensely, because that has been the case for every one of my clients. Every client who has worked with me one-on-one in my VIP day on this material and has received this material has been blown away by it, and it has totally transformed their business. And so Client Success Academy was born in 2024, and it is going to just grow in 2025 and beyond. And we just got started this week. My January group just got started this week, so I'm really excited about it. Okay, couple more wins. Working with solo and small team designers and private coaching, that has been such a win. It's just been so obvious that my core client is a solopreneur, a solo interior designer, or just have one or two team members, maybe three at the most. But that has been primarily who has come my way to work with me and invest in private coaching. And I've been able to give so much to those individuals. They're no longer like, they're no longer using their husband as kind of the punching bag, or like offloading all of their emotion onto their spouse. I don't want to say just husband, but onto their significant other, is where a lot of that emotion has gone to when they've had challenging things in their business. They go to their design peers when there's challenges, but then it just becomes a little bit of a bitch session and not very solution forward. And all that is stuff that I prevent. That's just not the case anymore. They now have somebody who can help work with them to come up with solutions for challenges, to remove the emotion from what's going on with their clients, to create healthy boundaries with their clients, to communicate with them effectively, to be able to have more control. That is the type of stuff that I offer to my private clients. And they have somebody to give them a client script for anything that's going on, a script, an email template. I literally create anything. I personalize it all to them. And that has been so valuable to my clients. And I have loved working with them. It's been like 75% of my private clients re-enroll in working with me after our first program together. And that has just been such an honor and so exciting. Within that, I have helped multiple private clients prepare for their maternity leaves. And I have realized that this is also a major gap in your market, is like the stress and overwhelm of how to prepare effectively for a maternity leave. And so I plan to create a targeted offer for that here in 2025, so that you have somebody to go to help you do that as well as you possibly can. I literally just had one of my clients have her second child, and literally born yesterday, gonna cry. And I helped her prepare for both of her maternity leaves, and her maternity leaves looked different. The first maternity leave, she had a team member, and so prepping her for that was different than this maternity leave when she didn't have a team member. And she said to me on Saturday, sending me a voice note saying, "You helped me so much feel so calm and confident going into this maternity leave, and for that I thank you." And I want to be that person to you. I want to be able to do that for you, and I want to be able to do that for women, for designers. I want to do that for you. So I feel like that was just a major win for me, and something I'm just really excited to launch in 2025. Okay, last but not least, last win would be supporting large teams in cool ways. So no doubt about it, my private clients are my solo designers and designers with small teams, but I have had multiple larger teams come my way because of the work I've done with my solo and small team designers. So this year I got to work with a commercial design firm, a female-led commercial design firm, who was struggling very much with their clients, having their clients follow their lead, having authority with those clients, and having their clients follow their processes. And so I was able to tailor my VIP day to them. So I was able to create material specifically for them and scripts specifically for them and a new process for them to help them not lose so much money because their clients were taking advantage of them. And then I had another large design team come my way to say that they struggled with things that were going on with their clients. And they hired me to create personalized scripts and create email templates and tips for to alleviate all of that. So how to fire a toxic client, how to part ways with a client that's not moving forward. It was awesome. They were a delight to work with. It was very fun working with them. And I just feel like that was really, really cool. And that was a win. And I want to actually mention that too, because I'm not marketing really to larger firms. I really am marketing to a certain kind of client. I really feel that my services are best for a solo or small team designer. I also help those designers, all of them, every person we're talking about though, more effectively lead and manage their teams as well. So, and hire, onboard their new hires effectively and train them effectively, all of that. But even though I've created services that really meet a small team designer where they're at, I also have larger teams that come my way that see what I'm doing and say, can you help me too? And I want you to take that away, because I think it's really important to have a client in mind that you're marketing to, and to not be afraid to market to that person in fear that you won't have other people come your way, because they will. They will. But if you try to market to everybody, you really water down your message, which is not great. These are the kinds of things that, like, whether you work with me or you work with another business coach, it is so important to work with coaches who invest in themselves and who study business, who study marketing, who have hired coaches themselves, because if they're not doing that, then they're not able to like pour all of that knowledge back into you. Like, I now have all of the knowledge from my coach that if clients of mine are struggling with certain things, I can pull from. Like, it's like, now that's in my brain. Now I can give it into your brain. But if you're hiring a coach who doesn't work with other coaches or doesn't like study business, they don't really have anyone else's brain to pour into you. They're only pouring their brain into you. And it's just not as effective. It's just not as effective. Okay. Number one thing I'm doing differently. The number one thing I'm doing differently in 2025. I'm very excited about this. So when I was like 24, that was the first time I ever hired or I ever worked with a coach. It was somebody in my corporate career invested in a coach for me to grow me in my leadership. Loved it, was so helpful. One of the first things she said to me that blew my mind after I was sharing with her how I operate is she said, Jeannie, it is so great that you are so action oriented and that you make moves, that you do things, that you get shit done. And she said, but you really take a ready, fire, aim approach instead of ready, aim, fire. And I had never felt so seen and understood, and also was given like a reason why I miss so many times. And as so many parts of my life, I fire and I don't aim. I mean, up until I started working with designers, I wouldn't even measure furniture I was buying. I would just buy things, and sometimes I would hit the target and sometimes I would miss and have to resell things. And it's the same reason why I launched a business like on a whim, like without a business plan that most people have. I launched a business on a whim. So I do think that there are benefits to being a fire person, because it's better than just aiming and never firing. At least I do. I believe that. I believe the people who fire more get, further because they are taking action but they're falling on their face a lot. And I feel like at this point in my business, what I have learned, what I've taken away, where I'm going, if I just aim a little bit more, if I just aim like 10% more, 10% better, if I just spend 10% longer aiming, it'll be more likely to hit the target than if I don't. And because of that, and I hope this is making sense to you, and maybe it isn't because you're an aim person, and then you might want to take away that you're going to be a fire person in 2025. But for me, The number one thing I want to do differently in 2025 is, with the knowledge I have now, with the learnings I have now, with where my business is today, is to spend time aiming. To spend 10% or 20% more time aiming so that messages can be clearer, so that, my content is more easily understood, so that my programs are just a little bit better. I just want to spend more time aiming. So it's the number one thing I'm going to do differently in 2025. So, I hope this was helpful. If this was helpful, can you please like this video? Throw me a comment. That would probably be like, what, you are the same way. When you get comments on things you post, like, don't you like want to do backflips? So let me know what of this live was most helpful for you. Please share my profile with a friend if you have a design peer who would benefit from learning from me or seeing this type of video. I am turning this into a blog post. I'm going to share a little bit more in that blog post about just like some of the challenges and what that looked like for us. So keep an eye out for that. I'm going to post that in the next couple of days. I'm adding at the bottom of that blog post, but also to my email list, my favorite things list of 2024. That includes books I loved the most, my favorite recipes of 2024, best show of 2024. So I just think that stuff is always fun. I like to include it at the bottom of my emails, but I will put it at the bottom of my blog post as well. And then last but not least, if you want to take 90 minutes reflecting on your 2024 so that you could aim a little bit better for 2025, I've created a business breakthrough workbook, and I really did create this for the business owner who does want to have a different result this year than maybe what they had last year. If that's of interest to you, comment breakthrough and I will DM it to you directly. If there is anything else that I can help you with, please let me know. Thank you for hanging with me today. I mean it when I say cheers to 2025. I am like, I don't know about you. I'm just feeling pretty good about it. Thank you. I will see you next week and take care. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for hanging with me. Bye.